Hi, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio. I am working on the Hawaiian quilt again, and I have changed my needle from a 3.5 to a 4.0 MR needle, and it seems to be doing the trick for me. I am using the same thread, the Signature 100% cotton, and I haven't had the thread break on me yet, and I've at the end of the first pass of the quilt. So I'm just going to show you a little footage of that, and probably some more footage of me quilting on this quilt so you can kind of see how it is going. But I am so I've got all the green done. I went to the top of the quilt and did all the green, and now I've switched over to the white thread with the new needle, and things are going pretty smoothly so far. So if you have a problem with this white on white fabric, try using a bigger needle if you're having trouble with the thread shredding on you, and then see if that helps. And I'm happy I didn't have to change the thread because I actually forgot to order the polyester white thread, so I didn't want to have to wait another week, but it seems to be going okay. When I get to the bottom of the quilt doing all the white, I'm going to go back to the top, work on the yellow, and then go back to the top and work on the fuchsia color. So this quilt, I did stabilize it. That's the first thing I did. I used white thread and I stabilized it by stitching in the ditch around the blocks, went all the way down to the bottom, and I released the top from the leader. I always load, I don't do a full float on my quilts, I do a partial float. I do secure it to the top fabric leader in the front of the machine, and then I baste it down to the top, and then work my way through stabilizing it. Then I release it from that leader. That way I can roll back and forth real easy without, just have the two rollers to deal with instead of the three. So it's just a lot easier. And so I'm just going to show you a little footage of what I'm doing today. Now I'm working on this section right here. I went ahead and stitched in the spine, and I'm going to fill it in with the feathers. And these are large feathers. There we go. Doesn't take too long. And then I just have one over here to do, and then I'm done with this row, and then I'll just continue on. And then I am going to be, I do stitch around this piece here. I think it looks better. So first thing I'm going to do though is to mark the feather, and I keep referring to my worksheet here to make sure I get these feathers in the right direction. So what I'm doing here is I'm just turning my paper so that the block is in the right orientation to make sure I put this spine and the feather in the right direction. And now I can't see where I'm going, so let me try that again. Okay. I'm going to stitch in the ditch first. There's a little wobble there. I'm not quite used to this little base plate. The base plate is 2 to 3 inches narrower than my other one, and so I kind of wobbled off of it. I'm gonna go back here and get that in the ditch a little bit better. And then I can just pull out these stitches here. One of the problems when your tension is good, it's harder to get rip stitches out. I guess that's part of having good tension. That's why it's there. Okay, we'll go back to the bottom and quilt in the spine. Now there's stopping and starting in this, so hopefully that's not a thing that bothers you. And I'm not quilting exactly on my drawn line. I'm quilting a little more freehand, but it's just a guideline. It's not something that's written in stone and I absolutely have to do that. Go right on top of it. There we go with the feathers. Done. All right, I'm going to advance the quilt and work on the next row. I have the Hawaiian quilt off of the machine finally, and I wanted to show you a little bit more the detail of the quilting on this. This is a wide angle view. The quilt is just draped over my long arm machine, and I'm getting back as far as I can across the room from it so you can see the majority of it. You could see through my post here, and there's my tripod and my broom handle, so you could see I've got a bunch of stuff in the way. But in the noise in the background, my husband's still working on the brick exterior of the house, so he's doing some tuck pointing and that kind of thing. So I'll get up a little bit closer so that you can see quilting detail a little bit more. There in that yellow square right there, you can see the straight line quilting that was done, and then the 6-inch square there, the crosshatch. And then you can see the feathers in the white on white fabric a little bit better there. And there's one of the fuchsia blocks. I used a fuchsia color thread that matches the background in that print there. So it's a lighter fuchsia color. I tried one block with a darker color and I thought it was just too dark against the white flowers, so I switched to a lighter color. The thing you can't see very well is the swirls that I did in the green, though they don't show up very well in the print just because it's kind of a busy print. But here you can see a little bit better here. That was the fastest part of the quilting, was doing those swirls. The feathers weren't too bad. I just had to mark the spine and then I freehanded in the feathers. But with these squares here, I had to mark all the starting and stopping points of each line, and with the crosshatch I just had to mark the centers on the edges of the block, so that wasn't too bad. But those large squares did take quite a bit of time. And I just finished this last night. I took it off the machine and sewing together the binding. So I'll get that sewn together and then get that sewn on the quilt. And then I'll be spending quite a bit of time this weekend hand stitching that binding to the back. for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my newest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.